Hi, this is Stephanie with This Reader's Life. I'm glad that you stopped by. If this is your first time here, welcome. This is a channel about books and reading books. And if you've been here before, then welcome back. And today is a Tag Tuesday, and y'all know I love tags. Um, this tag is called the In and Out book tag. And I was tagged by Nicky at My Messy Bookshelf, and I enjoyed listening to hers and listening to her answers. Um, some of these will be similar and some of them may be a lot different, and I haven't gone over them real closely because I think it's kind of fun to go with a first reaction and then maybe do a few little comments. But this tag was originally, let me put my glasses on so I can see. This tag was originally created several years ago by Rick McDonald, and I guess it's been revived recently. I have not seen it before, so this is the second one that I will have. I've watched Nicky's, and then I'm going to do it myself. That's all I know of them. So there are 26 prompts, and I'm going to go through them, and I think they'll be pretty quick. So again, it's in or out. It's sort of like would you rather, but this is, are you in with this or are you out with that? Are you okay with it or not? So number one is reading the last page first. Well, I'm out. What would be the point of reading once you've read the last page? So no, I'm out on that. Number two is enemies to lovers. And in a love story, that kind of romantic tension is kind of fun to me. So I'm going to say that I'm in. I kind of like it when two people kind of start off. I think that's pretty common. And maybe it's too common, but I kind of like it. So yeah, I'm in for enemies to lovers. Number three is dream sequences. And my first thought is no. I think it's kind of a lazy way to move a story along sometimes. However, I will say that Rebecca starts saying that she dreamed of Manderley, so maybe dream sequences aren't so bad. If they're done well, I would be in, and if they're not, I'm out. And I guess that would be true for most anybody. Number four is love triangles. I think they're frustrating. I'm trying to think of a specific book, and I can't just right off the top of my head. For the most part, I'm out. I do like mistaken, where perceptions are mistaken, and that can look like a love triangle to someone, but otherwise, yeah, I'm okay with a love triangle. I'm gonna say in. Sorry, I kind of waffled, but I'm gonna say in. Love triangles, I'm in. Cracked spines. A book with cracked spines. Well, if I want to read it, I'm in. I don't intentionally crack the spine on any book. And however, when you see a book that has a cracked spine, there's something about that tells you it was loved, that it was opened more than once, that it was so. So I'm sort of in on cracked spines. I would not do it on purpose myself to someone else's book, but I do. To me, a book at a library that has a really, really cracked spine might have been a really good book. So I'm gonna say I'm sort of in. Um, Back to My Small Town. Boy, that is one overused um, premise for so many women's fiction stories, for so many mysteries. For Back to My Small Town. I'm gonna say out. It's overused. I'm out. For now, anyway. Monsters are regular people. I'm out. I don't read books about monsters anyway. I mean, I guess you could say that there's a monster in a book, like if they were some mass murderer or something, and that could be a real person. But otherwise, like a living dead, or yeah, no, I'm out. Zombies are zombies. People are people. Um, no paragraph breaks. Well, I think it can be. It can become confusing when there are no paragraph breaks. So I'm going to go without. I'm out. And I know that there's also a couple of books now that are one long sentence. and I cannot imagine reading a book like that. And I'm trying to think of the one we just talked about it in my book club. I can't think about it, but reading a book that is one long sentence, I don't think or that doesn't have paragraphs. I don't care. I'm in. Go ahead. Multi-generational sagas. Yeah, I'm in. I think a lot of great historic books are multi-generational sagas. I've read, the thing that I think about right away is John Jakes, because he wrote the Bicentennial series, which goes from the Revolution to I don't know how far in, but generation after generation. And I like that. Sometimes there's part of one that there's a generation that you're not real um, excited about or that you don't enjoy enough, but yeah, I'm in. Multi-generational sagas in. Rereading, I am out. I don't reread a lot. I never have been a rereader. To me, it's a little bit like reading the last page. You already know what's going to happen. I have reread portions of books for the pure joy, but as far as rereading, I'm out. And I don't rewatch a lot of movies. I'm out there too. So I'm not I don't rehash things. Artificial intelligence. I'm out. Um, I don't want artificial intelligence to write a story for me, and I don't want to use it to write a story. I want the human factor in anything that I read. So I'm out. Drop caps. I don't know what drop caps are. If they're talking about not capitalizing, I don't know what drop caps are. Someone needs to educate me. Somebody put it in a comment because I have no idea what drop caps is. Now I feel like I feel so uneducated. I don't know what it is. Happy endings. You bet. In. I like happy endings. I like it in real life and I like it in books. I'm not saying that a book has to have a happy ending, but happy endings I like to feel good when I finish a book. Sometimes I feel thoughtful, but a happy ending is never really a bad thing. Plot points that only converge at the end. I'm in. I don't mind not knowing for sure through the greatest part of the book, but at the end it has all the points need to come together. So I'm going to say I'm in so long as they really and truly converge at the end. Detailed magic systems. I don't care about I'm out. Magic in a book at all is of very little interest to me. Occasionally someone can get by with it, but I'm not a big reader of fantasy. So having a huge magic system is not something that I'm out. It's not something I want to read. Classic fantasy races, I'm out. Same answer. Unreliable narrators. I'm trying to think of a book that has an unreliable narrator. And one that I sort of think of, and I don't know if it qualifies, is Huckleberry Finn. You know, you're never quite sure with Huck. But and then another one that I think of is, and I'm not sure this would be considered an unreliable narrator, but reading The Silent Patient, I think that might be considered an unreliable narrator. And there's another one that Tana French wrote, I believe, but for the most part, yeah, I'm in. I'm okay with an unreliable narrator. I'm all right with that. Evil protagonists. Nope. I'm out. I don't know how a protagonist can be evil. I'm out. The Chosen One. I'm assuming this is talking kind of about fantasy. I honestly don't know, but I think I'm out. When the protagonist dies, I'm okay with that. I think there are books when the protagonist dies, and I'm all right with it. I'm okay with that. It's sad, but I'm okay with it. Really long chapters. It seems like I just read one. Oh, it might have been Middlemarch that I felt like, but it was just really long all over. But I'm okay in with really long chapters. I don't prefer them, but I'm okay with them. French flaps. Well, educate me. I don't know what this means. I'm assuming it's a physical attribute. I don't know. Educate me again. Deckled edges. I'm in if they want to do that. Most of my books are used books that are old and they weren't really doing it at the time. Now a blank book with deckled edges, a journal, I might like that, but I don't care. So I'm in. Sure, go ahead. Signed copies by the author. I would not pay extra to get a signed copy by the author. I'm out. Dog earring pages. Well, I'm out, but I will say that it doesn't ruin the read for me if I, get a book that has some dog-eared pages in it. I would not do it to another person's book, to a really cheap old book. I've probably done it in the past. I wouldn't do it now, because I'm all grown up now. I don't know. I think it's again disrespectful, but I'm out on dog earring pages. Chapter titles instead of numbers. Chapter titles instead of numbers. I am in. I can't think of a specific book that did that, but it doesn't bother me at all. I'm in, and sometimes I think it's really fun that it gives you a little glimmer of what's to come. I also like it when there's maybe a quote or a saying or a line from a song or something like that at the beginning of a chapter. So I would say I'm definitely in. I think it adds to the story. So that is 26 questions. Got through them pretty quick. Tag others. Number 27 is tag others, which I will do below. I'll just do a few. And also, if you have reached the end of this and you would like to be tagged, consider yourself tagged by me. And enjoy doing the tag. And if you are not a booktuber, but you want to answer some of these questions or make a comment about any of the questions below, please feel free to do that. I read all my comments and I will respond to those. And again, there were a few in here that I didn't know the answer on. Drop caps, the chosen one, I wasn't sure what that meant. French flaps, I don't know what French flaps are. So if somebody can give me a clue on some of those, I will comment on those too and let you know my in or out on it. So anyway, until we talk again, please remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, be kind to the planet, and be blessed. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.